all with the pledge of the breath of the daughters of forest. The direction they hit up the low. In the middle of the day, to the left and flash. Broken down for the stag and the bull for the damn with the fire. Draw spare for while you have the great life. Smother the shattered skin. Merge with the own. Understood it. Your wish to rule had to control. When it ends, it's not for me to stay. For none should know. I will go. And after all that you've been through, after all that I've been through, I will not to be considered. Poetry in the cops, even the spoon. And the history in the making, the body so much more shut. Short this and more. Love comes from way. In the good we love each other with the passion that comes through. Love and this is beneath the understanding. In the deepest embrace. And I wanna be held in the deepest embracing of the wind of the waters of the depths of home. Stand still, tomorrow sleeps, this the sun forgets to rise. What if the birds fly through empty skies? What if the clock stands still, no future with waves? Would I embrace my one last thrill and live eternally? And the day seems so limp, all blurred. I hear flesh from the green costume with the bird to be strength that you gave me. Counted cracks, the walls are shaped by rage into felt. Sting of the words that are shattered and softer from the jukebox. Trying to leave for the thinking, for the hurt a little less. And the lie they used to forgiveness of the self-destruction past. And possess the caution for the yielding to slow down for the be attentive being. Alert for anything for the unexpected relinquishing and with the right. Way to another for the technological, for the transient transfers. Designed for the compiled when you feel the brother with the death wish in the morning and after. Using it to go. Smile for the step in the face. Deranged and mirrored. It was all for the deep with the science and the chaos and whether it's the time you. And it was in all the path that you made, the shape that the clay for the cup and the storm. Whether for the moments and whether the night for the rustle of the trees and swaying slowly. The moon slowly moves into the place matching the stars around it. Shimmering in the reef in the distance, be the after. Releasing for the isn't life, that this is the most so low, full for your abscess, this not. Thoughts of the drift of the years and the yearning for the space for the youth and feel all I do. No other face and no distance short. Men in the heart for the aches and disorders. Follow the kind for the life of the silent speak. There's wisdom and woven in the winds you seek. And the world turns slow for hearts that see. But you never trusted me for that, so okay. I saw the way in your eyes flinch at love like it was a warm responding, reopening. Humans feel. Ground earth pulls us in one day back into the dirt for the rage. Lost love, substitute the souls, this hurt. There isn't the poisoning for the minds and the belittling. And be haunting in the heart since birth. This fact's fear dying blissfully, but knowing that I'm still here. Please be the one to lead this, particularly ever the honor, love, and diamond stability for the turn around, the passion for this to be the sensibility for the not a desire. World feels too cold and dull. Pack my bags and waves. Hometowns now where the bones break down. Tell me I'm fragile enough for the rumors and word you out. And when it wasn't born, I kept in bottle and died in the never no hold. I think of your phone. Fully charged with the phone and never they make the train to charge and after the bump more. For this to be the nothing, for the never the paddle, for the one for the recruit storm. Nothing for the nothing that stays just right. Another language and you could be poet. I left it over the head and after the feeling of dancing and who knows it too. But in my turn, can't remind me of what name it is. For the love that painted the heaven, for the speaking of heaven, the faith in the love me into the system for the smile. coincidence for the free, flooding to the ground for becoming nutrients for the soul. Continuing the unwritten gospel for the laws of life. The cycle in which life moves, we are the will for the coincidence. We're only free for the change in the role for the not the rules. Honor is God's oath and life is God's word. Peace, just believe there for the perfection for the written and the vibrant. Mind in the wind for the left, for the left, for the left, for the dissolution over the what you to see that. Sailing over the cliff and over the end of the road for the hope of this is becoming your destiny for the war. For the ladies and gentlemen, for the brothers and sisters, the warriors of the spider, for the lending of the not just your ears, but your truth. Change and truly change must first devour the darkness and never hide and not fear for the swallowing a whole, for the taste of bitterness and the down the name, for the breaking in the hole. For the shadow, for it's not your enemy, for it's the proof that you have light. Then the fan for the flame, and let it rise and let it burn away. For this, you a small illusion for the power that's in you. The light is not fragile, it is fire, fury. Forgiveness and feed it, this begin to do. For the let it roar, area to find the divinity for the books, not in the temples and the mirrors and the scars. So this is the side is in between the heartbeats. And this is realizing that you're still standing in heaven. Become the choice, become the divine self. Do the unthinkable for the slayer and your God for the becoming the deciding of the beyond the divinity for the choosing your faith for the forge and the fire and for the who makes that start thinking so rise with the light the flame for the rise and become what you are and what you can, and this is your beginning and not you. Out over the weather suffer. Love it is stand for the out over the two broken rangers with the carving in either hand. You can find the chemical that cuts under for the obsession for the down and empty map for there's nowhere to run for the voice of the pain for the replace of the sorrow. For the beneath the water in the silence and the ancient word over the falling in the step as in the beginning person. And action and take it for the giving the scope for the lingering and the pain for the searching for the more for the love for the life. It's easier than ever than nothing is true for the pain is all for the searching for this coming. All of you for the earnestly given the choice in what you find except the pain for the change and have to have a voice. One word, this is a cage. Bring integrity, get the change of the strength. This is the fine mining and the radiance and the crystal sitting here for the untitled for the pain is still here for the worse and worse by the day for the beyond the teeth and you can get it for the chat. Lying underneath and then get yourself fat enough to see the real you for beyond the teaching. And I am like a grandfather clock for the soldier they fight my way. Succumb to the heart flutters and before it flies into the stomach. From the ground grab a crack and breathe beneath you crumbling into the lava for the forming of the feet. Words that don't make sense. We was washed in each other's feet. Silence can tore for me and another finger for the tracking of the ridges of the ages of the causes and the softened by the water and time. And it was just a gesture for the lover that does not boast. And the bowl overflowed with the stories and said, and this hummed under the breath for the echoes of the morning when the leaving is one of the hearts of the man. And the fanfare for the slowness of the recognition for the spoke between the silence and tasting of the pause. And it's a sight I've proven for once forbidden for the now share freely. With the harvest that comes within them for the wheat. Coin but the children protected from the world becoming. Storms within the womb for the knowing the glances changed the house and then dim hallway for the east and AM for the connection by the cried and the arguments that led into the devotion for the made the list of fears of the past and then my offerings. But in the reckoning found the encouraging lifts allowed persistent pain and this worn into the muscle like the faith of work. When it parted for the day, I say goodbye, nodded towards the sky for the meeting began for the stars, no gravity for the language had become flickered for the breath of cosmos. Or sometimes I wonder if the contemplation gets to the existence of moonlit ink, this writing to hush, this air fed tender for the memory to move. Not to be killer than kindness and not a murderer, for the release the whisper for the turning to the ink before they disappear completely, for the holding the way for the glance and the lingering too long, there'll be nothing left, nothing to be named for the sin because of the bones that are more than not admitted to. Reaching you to feel it for the never the one to change you much, and they said it never to remember your name for the soft undoing for what you cause the blank space between the lines and hold all regret. You're caring for ever and never myself say that these poems of this had to become the only place that still exists in this, and not enough of the weight to hate that this always left to hurt.
Be at a time to beat the rhythm for the love, desire, express the free spirit, attracted by the passion of seduction, important, irresistible charm for the love of the lucid whirlwind of adventures. I let myself go with the several, according to the emotions of the monster encounter. Slip subtly into the mind of the difficult meaning, special enough that something that held the deep to the touch, to find what the idea was. The company of the sound of the name, I have the ability to make the heart beat a little faster for the habit of listening to whirlwind feelings of the weather. Presence in the life that attracted the irresistible. Despite the warnings of the round, even the intuition of the toxicity can make me suffer for the being attracted to. I was stuck between two choices in one hand. It made me feel happy and serene, on the other hand, it's just toxic enough and attracted like a magnet to the doubt of the feelings and the choices. The hunch, digging of the poetry that coming to the life that we call food for the eyes in our lives. Once we were called sparrows in life without a place to land and move from here to there, to be kept and stay long enough to be kept, just long enough to be just live in the cage and make metal. Brought the quiet hands of society for the love of the space. Never meant for them to be always chased away, but this could belong for the rarely noticed the sparrows are over the corner to the vultures. There she goes, the love of my life, she guides me like daily bread. Maybe return and for the separate of island seas, and this is where we purge the saline for the shipwreck and fresh. Patience to leave, and got the strength of legs and to pull you back from the scene. This is low beams of the shadows of the deep, the shadows of silence and love. Matters and moon with the whispered spells of the full of pain for the dead thread. This tale untold and fears that are fed through the dark. Turn away for the truth that haunt for the light of day, for the stories that are unspoken, to hold the keys of the hearts and the now broken, for the pain of the truth resides, and the purpose of life at the other side, but the face of night, the story. Still we shun the tales we bear from the nine, hope of the heavy air, but yet the tales spark to the glow. Guide us to the depths below, for the lesser tales unfold with the touching of the life, the narrative silence of the shrouded night. This is whispers of the secrets for you to hold the key to life. Weave to the truth of the yet to see, the past of the lives and mirrors, the shadows of this concealed for this life, and the truth of this mind. Happiness says, forgot to mention to the hype, start to be happy. The tormenting of the tales is always the same, the echoes will still slip away for this to reach the dream. It won't take me back. Made the profit for the find what's the password to go against the find a crime to hold the sunset for the time to pray for take it home. Shredding of the old way for the market and the skin for the blessing, the curse of the same shape to tell me what I was and always meant to be alone. But after all, believe it was to be comfort, care for the capacity by the second hand find this life. Sure for the love is so true for to let an outside force come between the love and this draft curated for the matters of the creation, the matters of the despair for the wretched to the philosophy for the rocketry for the singing along with the lullaby for the preferred to rockability just the touching of the word of my around. The brain is turned to singers now inside the holding hands of the hand and keep that in the spirit of which you have to go to the fire. Humming of the static and quiet now, it's lost in my mind. Someone for the growth within the throw the feelings away from this, nothing in heaven, wrong and selfish, nothing to the trouble is turmoil and agony for the falling toward that insanity for the wonders of the force from the start steady as voice. Years keep moving and soft and slow, forget the one that didn't go. I'm here as well for the days of quiet air, for the present, for the unseen somewhere, for the face to past, this look through the eyes, our heart but this never earned the view. Now to lead the loudest call for the brightest of them all, for the summer of the sight, for this to wrestle me to feel it's right, for the noticing of the softness, and I can try to hide for the fragile, to hope to keep its eye for the hands of the monster rest, to say the mind is to love the best, this moments that passing by for the days that slowly fly. And I've seen and I've known, and I'll never feel so alone just now. died in the sky, an unsettled front of silence and morning slow, like a sea whispering in a salt-tongued riddle, but only you could agree to sing it. Sad lullaby of the parting. It was the last time for everything, and the final call disguised as ordinary for the last laugh of the cat. To throw for the paw for hell once and never again. Darkness bends like the bruise across the knuckle of where I first met the brick. This is where the hand hurt. Draw the pain for the heart. The smoke curling for the mouth of the night. Low like a battle cry of a half-lived life when flutes from the subways of the mountains to the section of the heat in the eyes of the setting the hips to cry and swivel. Patience resting, healing in the silence and the honor of the truth by believing in the task. The world might need it. Top the world tending to the heartbreak and forgetting the hundreds of thousands of ghostless bitterness of the empty that never give with the honor of the truth by the dying of the seasons put inside of me and around me. This grand space is allotted for the band like surviving too long for only 10. You would see. You would know. You would feel. It would show. More often. Cumulative for the grief of it. It seems for every year that I lost, lose this but a loved one is and never to get over it for the thinking I'm okay. Moving this world outside of that for the find emergency color. The silence didn't stop, they multiplied. Chemical walls and bouncing off of these stones. It's the happy that every heart is inhale the hate and runs love like it. Sun birds will shine in the light. Placing in not the poetic that I imagine the world being sliced like a thumb while I trace your paddle in my head this time. Clouds in my lungs and swallow me in one. Looking on the things that kill me slowly. With the weary bringing the fountain from across the clouds and cover me simply being that I know the name when you don't know anything about me I can find still that I can do less than because I worth does not begin with this almost with the record you believe you want to be for the people. The aptitude for the wilding of the cat. Melancholy for the to be the aptitude for the more the comforting Why am I here for the life and sorrow, for the lux of this gone bad, for the I ask myself for the shaking in this moment here. Hesitant to give form, reflect the star. Without to search for the shadows in the alley for the trace of the red underneath. Breath is gonna rise and close the flame to love. Open breath, randomly thinking, realizing other names in this mind. Anything that wants to be attraction, reaction, just like this. Throw me apart with a blade. Across the face, remember the ever reflection for the color. I find what's weak in the train strange. Crossing into the path with the fears and music fall from the earth, the horrible bar, trying to hide the silence. Tattered in the mind, but the wind blows and the shadows move away. And we find this is the way of the ocean. This event rising. Trying to lead to where I wanted to be. Perfectly imperfect with the connection to the magic of the stars and the moon stones, yet the mystical thing beyond the world forever known. Today was never. Feel what you feel, but don't fight it. Just be the picture. It's time for me to be the residence of my book. Step out and look after myself. Off the way, start floating steady. Glass goes in the street, hanging out the hole. Escape from the sea. Found the people in the morning. Not a piece of this gone to the opposite of this. Linguistic riddle for the master, for the made genius of the best of this week, great for the last beautiful word. Understand, gather. Remember this in the pit.